I'm Tamara, and this is my final individual reflection. So, first and foremost, our project was inspired by The Martian by Andy Weir, and we had to make a lander that would bring an egg, which symbolizes Mark Watney, back to Earth, which for us is the atrium. Um, our building and testing process revealed some strengths, such as the revised model was more robust. This is because we created a square structure and we're using cardboard, by the way, and it had two airbags on the bottom, a little hatch with a ziplock and cotton and stuff with the egg inside, and there's like a door to open the lander so we can get our egg out to see if it survived or not. But basically this lander was more sturdy because our airbags were intact, and the materials like the carpet was a great idea because it kept everything protected, especially the egg. What else? Our egg lasted longer in our revised design because inside the hatch we had like a Ziploc, and we had cotton and a bunch of tissue. We stuffed it like literally to the brim, like you couldn't really see the egg, but yeah, we stuffed it so much so that in case of like any hard hits, the egg would be protected because it has like stuff surrounding it. So that's one another strength. And then my last strength was that the airbags lasted longer because in our first design, because of the way we placed the airbags, they fell off like on the first the first test drop. And for this lander, the airbags stayed intact the whole entire time. So because we glued them in the area that was more like secure, that was a better thing. And they were bigger this time, so yeah. And then for our setbacks, our first design only lasted like 2 tries, and this is because when our this is what it looks like. And so because the wooden sticks didn't really last long, this broke off, and there was like a little airbag placed in in this area. It was like a really weird area, but because of where it was placed, it didn't really last long. So I think a setback is that our airbags broke on the first try. Our eggs also did not last very long because our lander was not that robust, because when we dropped it, the airbags already broke, and then on the second drop the wooden sticks fell off, and so the egg also broke. So because these two the airbags and the wooden sticks didn't last really long, like the base, I guess, since it didn't last that long, the eggs didn't last either because the airbags fell off. There's nothing to protect it. So yeah. And our airbags were not as big on the first design, like, because it was less than what we calculated it to be. Like, it was less than our theoretical yield, which I'll talk about like later. If my lander was constructed with like actual space, like materials, and I had like a lot of money from people funding me, I feel like my lander would definitely survive. Well, my revised design would definitely survive, but I don't think the person inside would, just because I can't use cotton or to protect the person. I have to use like better materials. But yeah, they would definitely not survive. And how did I use the EDP process, to construct my lander? So first, I identified the problem, which was that, I had to get the egg back to the atrium, which was Earth. Basically, we needed a lander to get back to Earth. So the lack of a lander was our problem. We had to find a way to construct a lander to get the egg back to the atrium safely without a parachute. And so I researched landers on the internet to get an idea of what they're like and what I want my design to look like, or my lander to look like. And so I came up, do I have it? Yeah. I came up with like a cylindrical structure with like 4 airbags on the corners, a door, and like a little hatch with my egg in it. And with this design, so basically after that, I met up with my group mates, and we brainstormed our ideas, showing each other our different individual designs, and then we came up with an idea by combining all our different aspects of our individual designs, and we made our prototype. Then we made our we tested our prototype, and when it broke, when our first lander broke and all that bad stuff happened, we iterated. We oh, this is what went wrong. We need to work on making the airbags bigger, better structure, better materials, and stuff like that. So after that, we made our revised design. We also tested it, and it seemed to work better. So that's a great thing. And then we reflected on everything after that. And so how did I apply chemistry to our project? So first of all, we used a baking soda and vinegar, like a chemical reaction, to produce to create our carbon dioxide gas, which we use to inflate our airbags. And like during this reaction, we noticed that, baking soda was the limiting reactant and vinegar was the excess reactant, because we added like more vinegar than baking soda. So like after the reaction, there was more vinegar and literally no baking soda left because it was all used up. Um, we also applied stoichiometry to calculate how much vinegar and baking soda we were going to need. So we calculated that we needed like 1.45 grams of baking soda and 30 liters of vinegar. And then when it comes to product and percent yield, so the main product was carbon dioxide gas, which we used to inflate our airbags. And the percent yield, like, so our theoretical yield was 75%, but after actually doing making the airbags, like creating the carbon dioxide gas, we got way less air. So our actual yield was like way less. I don't remember the number specifically because I don't have it with me, sorry. But yeah, it was way less than what we expected, which is what made, like I said earlier, that our in the first design, that the airbags, we didn't have a lot of air, and that was like a huge setback for us. And that's why, because our actual yield was way less than our theoretical yield, so it was way less than 75%. And so yeah, but this project was a really great project. I definitely enjoyed reading The Martian because it was a really funny book, and Mark Watney is really funny. And getting a more hands-on experience on like more of the engineering field was also great for me because I engineering is fun. I think it's a great field. But yeah, I would definitely do this again. Bye.